Hello, Solar People, and welcome back to the channel where we will continue with our summer studies of anatomy. Today we are doing the bones and muscles of the forearm. The bones and muscles of the forearm. So we have the ulna and the radius, and this is your right arm, the front. Also called supination, where your palm is open and you're facing front. Imagine you have your arm at your side and your palm is facing the way you're looking, and that is the supinated position of your forearm and palm. So the upper arm is the humerus, and that connects to these two bones of your forearm. That is the ulna and the radius. The ulna and radius. The ulna is on the inside of your supinated position of your forearm. So one of the most unique features of your forearm and the ulna and radius is that one can flip and come across the other one. So the ulna stays more or less stationary while the radius can turn and be on top of the ulna. And that is what we call pronation. So the supination, your palm side, is facing front, facing the way you're looking. But the radius can help you move, and the muscles of your forearm, move your hand, turn it, and so your palm side is now facing away from you, from the direction you're looking. And you can do that right now. You can turn your hand from the palm side up, and the radius helps with the muscles to turn it so your hand, then now the palm side is facing downwards, the palm side is facing away from the way you're looking. And that is one of the unique features of the forearm and the radius and ulna. And that's how I try to remember these two bones. And the ulna is closer towards the body and is more stationary, while the radius rotates. And that is the motions of the bones in your forearm. So now let's talk about muscle. So before, when we were going over the muscles of the forearm, I try to keep it very, very simple. And the basic that I helped to remember for me was that the extensors are more or less on the back side of your forearm. Extensors on the back, flexors that help move things towards the body or to flex them is more on the inside of the forearm. So flexors, I try to remember, are more than inside. Extensors that help uncurl muscles are on the outside. So let's take a look at all of these little muscles. There's a lot of muscles in the forearm that help to stabilize, of course, flex and extend the muscles and the digits of your fingers. And there are quite a number of them. So in the more red or orangey colors, I try to group the flexors. And on the more blue side, I tried to put on the back side more the extensor colors are colored more in blues. But let's go over all of this weird and wackiness. We're not going to do a lot of deep muscles, and we're just going over the cores. So right arm front, this is your bicep. Right here, so this is the aponeurosis, which is an aponeurosis is a flattened tendon by which muscles attaches to bone or fascia. Aponeurosis connects the muscles to the body muscles of the body to other muscles which necessitate help, while tendon serves as links between the muscles and the bones. So this, in blue, is the bicipital aponeurosis. Bicipital aponeurosis. And at the bottom here, in white, we have the flexor retinaculum and the extensor retinaculum. So again, flexor inside, extensor outside. But it's, I think of it more like a watch band to help keep the muscles and bones together. So let's start from the top. Brachioradialis is in purple, and that's this, and a little bit of this on the backside. So brachioradialis. The flexor carpi radialis is in red on the inside of your forearm. This gold one is the pronator teres. The pronator teres, and it helps this muscle by the name pronator as an identifier that it helps to move your forearm into the pronated state. So going from the palm side to the backhand side. And that is a muscle that helps facilitate that. Pronator teres. We have the bicipital aponeurosis, which is this in blue. And then we have these tinier, smaller bundled muscles, like the palmaris longus. Palmaris longus. In green, this orange one is the flexor carpi ulnaris. And this is the ulna on the inside. Right? Ulna inside. The radius is on the outside and can rotate. And that is the front of your right arm. Now on the back side, you have even more muscles. These names, man. The anoconeus is this very small muscle on the back side of your arm, and it helps to move call it the elbow proper, and this muscle helps move that. And if you feel your elbow, you can kind of feel that when you flex and extend your forearm, you can kind of feel it moving. Anoconeus. Flexor carpi ulnaris in orange. On the back side, you can see it. Flexor carpi ulnaris. Then there's the extensor digitorum. Extensor, backside, in blue. Extensor digitorum. Now there's more little individual muscles. Like I think there's an extensor minimum digitorum or something like that. But I try to keep them all together. Extensor digitorum on the backside. We have the brachioradialis, which is here, but also primarily on the forearm. On the inside, on the backside, we can see a little bit of it. Extensor carpi radialis longus is here in purple. And then we have a small muscle, extensor carpi radialis brevis. Right, longus, brevis. So in that purple, then we have in green, abductor pollicis longus. And that is in green, abductor pollicis longus. And then we have the extensor pollicis brevis in a mauve, and the longest version in pink. So extensor pollicis longus is the pink one. Extensor pollicis brevis is the mauve one. And those are the muscles of the forearm. My goodness, that's a lot. Yes, that's a lot. And this is why this is why the forearm is so difficult, because there's a lot of muscles. There's a lot of muscles in here. So I hope you have learned something, as I have learned something in the making of this this thing. So I will see you next time. We will go over the pelvic bones and muscles of the pelvis. And until then, I will see you on the next video. Take care and keep shining.